First, stopping. This sounds too simple. It's not. It's one of the hardest things of all. Our lives are pretty frenetic, as all of us know. Most of us are dashing from one activity to another, multitasking, trying to do as much as possible. And there are a lot of costs to that. We get agitated, our attention gets fragmented, we get mindless, we get lost into fantasy, we get run on automatic. And we can condition unskillful mind states. So, before undertaking any major activity, to stop for a moment, to get out of that frenetic mind space, to actually just be present for a moment, is no small thing. It breaks the automaticity. It gets us out of the frenetic, fragmented state of mind. And it's the first essential for making us conscious and getting us into the present moment. And it's really valuable to stop for a moment between any major transition points during the day. Before walking, you get up to walk from your desk to go to walk somewhere, to stop for a moment. Before you start work, before you start any major activity, just to stop for a moment. Take a breath. Breathe. Remember breathing? Really valuable. Unless we stop, we cannot hope to undertake any activity as karma yoga. So if you're beginning your workday, for example, as you sit down at your desk before reaching for the first piece of paper, just to stop. Take a moment, take a couple of breaths, come into the moment. That gets us into the second phase, this coming into the present moment. To bring attention to the present moment. You sit down at your desk to begin your work. Maybe you're still composing a song. Maybe you're shuffling paper, as I do a lot of. Maybe you have to make a telephone call. To come into this present moment and do, for a moment, a practice of some kind, whatever your practice is. If your practice is Vipassana, or loving kindness, or yoga of some kind, to take a moment, or contemplative prayer, just to do that for maybe just a moment, whatever it required to drop you into this moment right now, right here, right now, not with the mind reaching forward to do the work, because it's to the extent we can be fully present and relaxed and released into this moment is the extent to which we can let go our agendas and turn this activity over, the extent to which we can fully dedicate it. So I would recommend, before you begin an activity, whatever practice you do it for a moment. Or another very simple thing, just take 3 slow, deep breaths. Many of you will know the wonderful practice of the Thai Vietnamese Zen monk Thich Nhat Hanh. Wonderful little meditation he has, which let me just suggest we do it for a moment. Again, if you get yourself comfortable, relaxed. And just breathe slowly and deeply. And then, as you breathe, say to yourself, breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. This is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. This is a wonderful moment. Good. And come back to the room. So, before each activity, each major activity of the day, stopping for a moment, coming into the present, doing your practice, or taking a few breaths, whatever is required to get you out of the automaticity, whatever the dominant motives were, the frenetic activity, so you're really present. And then in that presence, in that openness, there's the possibility of consciously setting an intention. And here's where it gets really powerful and the potential of this practice begins to open. Because the meaning and importance and impact of any activity, of any experience, is not something that is just given to us. It is a function of the intention we bring to it. For example, I can buy an ice cream and it can have extraordinarily different experiences and impacts. I can buy an ice cream because I'm addicted to ice cream and I want to get it and eat as much as I can. Or I can buy some ice cream to share it because I know you would love some and some others would love some and it'd be great to share. And you would be very happy. Those two acts are exactly the same. Same amount of ice cream bought, same money being exchanging hands, etc. Very different experience, very different conditioning. When I buy it for myself because I'm addicted and want it, it is going to activities reinforce the motives which power them. So in buying the ice cream out of greed, I am reinforcing my craving and the contracted, painful mind state which it goes with it. If I do it out of generosity and empathic joy, the joy of thinking how much you'll enjoy it, I reinforce qualities such as compassion, love, empathic joy, happiness. Very different experiences from such a simple activity. Now, what's really crucial to recognize is that although, as all of you know from your meditation practice, we don't have a lot of control over our minds. We do have some control over some things, a lot more than others. And one thing where we have choice is with intention. We can choose our intentions, which is not to say we will perfectly fulfill and uphold them. But moment by moment, we can choose our intentions. So here is a crucial pivot point in the mind and where we have real power. And not only do we have power, but it is an extraordinarily powerful aspect of mind which determines and shapes the meaning and importance and impact and conditioning of our experience. So choosing intention is a really crucial catalytic pivot point in behavior. And thank goodness we have choice about it. And we can transform the most mundane and trivial and routine daily activities into spiritual practice by setting our intention. by choosing our intentions. There is virtually no activity of ordinary or daily life which can't be transformed into a spiritual practice by choosing the intention with which we approach it. And here's the delight. When we choose an intention which is a higher order intention, remember, say, the hierarchy of motives, going from Maslow's hierarchy of motive, from physiological needs to relationship needs, to self-esteem, to self-actualization, self-transcendence. Remember, if you choose a higher order motive, you get the lower order goodies as well. That is, if you choose an intention such as we're about to go, the good news of the day, we're about to go for lunch. Okay. Now, why are you going to eat lunch? To get the hell out of here? To get some time away from this seminar? To get some food? To get some fuel? Or are you going to do it as an eating meditation? Are you going to do it as a chance to enjoy the pleasure of being with people? Or are you going to do it as a spiritual practice? Or would you like to do it as a part of your spiritual practice as karma yoga, to have this lunch, to do it as karma yoga, to do it as much as you can, with as much awareness as you can, as an eating meditation? And are you going to do it not just for yourself alone, but in order to do this eating meditation, in order that it can fuel you, provide energy to learn as much as you can from this time together in order that you can be an optimal instrument of service? Now, those are successively higher order motives. Now, the interesting thing is, if you choose to have your lunch as an eating meditation in order to grow and optimize and actualize and awaken as fully as possible, in order that you can be an optimal instrument of service, guess what? You still get to enjoy lunch just as much as if you went to eat it just to have lunch. Okay? The beauty of choosing higher order spiritual intentions is you get all the lower goodies anyway. In the words of a very wise person 2,000 years ago, Jesus, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be given to you." That is a profound statement. It says that spiritual practice, when really understood, is not sacrifice. It's a win-win for everyone.